It's frustrating. You can understand English. You can understand me. You can understand when other people are speaking. But the moment you try to speak, the words just don't come out. Your mind knows what you want to say, but your mouth refuses to cooperate. You hesitate. You pause. You search for words. And suddenly the conversation moves on without you. If this has ever happened to you, you're not alone. Millions of English learners around the world face the exact same problem. They can understand English very well, but speaking English feels impossible. And the worst part? People think you don't know English. But deep inside, you know the truth. You do know English. You just can't get the words out fast enough. Well, my friend, today we're going to change that. Because in this lesson, I'm going to show you 5 powerful reasons why this happens, and more importantly, how you can fix it. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand exactly what has been stopping you, and what you need to start doing today to finally speak English more confidently. So, if you're ready, let's begin. Before we continue, welcome to English Learning Booster. This channel is dedicated to helping you think in English, speak naturally, and build real confidence when communicating in English. If your goal is to become fluent, improve your speaking skills, and finally stop feeling nervous when speaking English, make sure you subscribe and join thousands of learners improving their English every day. All right, now let's jump into the first reason. Reason number 1, your internal editor never stops critiquing. Inside your mind, there is a voice. That voice checks everything you say, every sentence, every word, every grammar rule, every pronunciation. And that voice is called your internal editor. This internal editor is constantly asking questions like, is this sentence correct? Is this the right tense? Did I use the correct word? Is my grammar perfect? And while this editor is busy checking your sentence, the conversation keeps moving forward. Imagine this situation. You are in a meeting. You have a great idea. In fact, it's a very valuable idea. You open your mouth to speak, but suddenly your internal editor interrupts. Wait, is this sentence correct? Your brain starts checking grammar. Past tense or present tense? Should I say have or had? Is this word correct? While your brain is busy analyzing all of this, someone else says your idea. Just like that, your opportunity disappears. Not because you didn't know English, but because your internal editor slowed you down. Let's look at another example. Someone asks you a simple question. What do you think about this? You know exactly what you want to say. You open your mouth, then you stop. Because your brain is checking grammar again. By the time your brain finishes checking the sentence, the other person has already moved on. Sound familiar? Or maybe this situation has happened to you. You start telling a story. Everyone is listening. The story is interesting. But suddenly, you start questioning your grammar in the middle of the sentence. You pause for 2 seconds. But those 2 seconds feel like 10 seconds. People start looking at you. You feel nervous. Your confidence drops. And suddenly you rush to finish the story quickly. The story itself was great, but your internal editor destroyed the moment. So now the question becomes, how do we fix this problem? Let's look at the solutions. Solution number 1. Give your editor a curfew. Yes, a curfew. Just like parents give teenagers a curfew, you are going to give your internal editor a time limit. Here is the rule. Your editor only has 3 seconds to check your sentence. 3 seconds. That's it. After 3 seconds, the sentence must come out. No restarting, no deleting, no hiding the sentence. Whatever you prepared, you say it, even if it's not perfect. Why? Because the goal of communication is not perfection. The goal is expression. Your goal is to share your ideas, not create perfect grammar every time. Start practicing this rule in low-pressure situations. For example, ordering food at a restaurant, talking to a coworker, sending a voice message, talking to a friend. Train your brain to understand something important. Imperfect and spoken is better than perfect and silent. Solution number 2. Finish every sentence you start. This is a powerful habit, because your internal editor becomes strongest when you stop in the middle of a sentence. For example, you start speaking, "I think the best solution for this problem is," then suddenly you stop. Your brain starts analyzing again. Your editor interrupts again, and the sentence disappears. Instead, make a simple rule. If you start a sentence, you must finish it, even if the grammar is wrong, even if the sentence sounds strange, even if the words aren't perfect. Finish it. Because something amazing happens when you do this. A completed mistake teaches your brain more than a silent sentence ever will. People who improve fastest in English are not those who speak perfectly. They are the ones who keep speaking, even when they make mistakes. A finished sentence builds confidence. An unfinished sentence builds fear. So from today, finish every sentence you start. Solution number 3. Separate speaking time and editing time. This is another powerful strategy. Most English learners try to do 2 things at the same time: speak English and check grammar. This creates pressure. Instead, separate these 2 activities. Choose one conversation every day where grammar does not matter at all. Your only goal is to communicate your idea. Not perfect grammar, not perfect pronunciation, just communication. Speak freely, express your ideas, share your thoughts. Then, after the conversation ends, reflect. Ask yourself questions like, was there a better way to say that? What words could I improve? What sentence structure could be better? Then you can research those improvements. This way, your editor works after the conversation, not during it. And when you do this regularly, your confidence starts to grow, because speaking becomes easier. So remember this: your internal editor is not your enemy. It is trying to help you. But if you allow it to control every sentence, it will silence you. So, give it a curfew. Finish your sentences, and separate speaking from editing. Once you start doing this, you will notice something surprising. The words will begin to come out faster, your confidence will grow, and conversations will become easier. But this is only the first reason. There are still 4 more powerful reasons why you understand English but struggle to speak it, and the next one might surprise you. Now, let's move to reason number 2. Reason number 2. Your native language always jumps first. This is something most English learners don't realize. Your brain learned English through your native language. That means when someone speaks to you in English, your brain often does something like this. Step 1. Understand the English. Step 2. Translate it into your native language. Step 3. Create your response in your native language. Step 4. Translate that response back into English. Step 5. Speak. That process takes time, and conversations don't wait. While your brain is translating, everyone else is already speaking. This is why sometimes you feel like you're one step behind in conversations. Your brain is busy translating instead of responding. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. Imagine someone asks you a question in English. Your brain immediately understands the question, but the answer forms in your native language first. Now your brain must translate that answer into English. But translation takes time, and by the time you're ready to respond, the conversation has already moved forward. Sometimes it moves 2 topics ahead, and suddenly you feel quiet. Not because you have nothing to say, but because your brain was busy translating. This also happens when you're tired. Have you noticed that speaking English becomes harder when you're exhausted? That's because your brain has less energy. Holding back your native language requires mental energy. When you're tired, your brain chooses the easier option, your native language, and English disappears. Again, this doesn't mean your English is bad, it just means your brain is tired. Now let's talk about how to fix this. Solution number 1. Start thinking in English before conversations. Instead of waiting until the conversation begins, prepare your brain in advance. Let's imagine you have a meeting at 10 a.m. where you'll speak English. At 9:50 a.m., start thinking in English. Not complicated thoughts, simple thoughts. For example, I'm preparing for the meeting. I think today's discussion will be interesting. I need to explain my idea clearly. I should remember to ask a question. This simple habit prepares your brain. Your mind switches into English mode. So when the conversation begins, your brain is already thinking in English, instead of translating. Even just 10 minutes of thinking in English can make a huge difference. Solution number 2. Create English-only zones in your day. Another powerful strategy is to connect English with specific daily activities. Choose one routine activity and make it English-only time. For example, morning coffee, walking outside, driving to work, eating lunch. During that time, you only think in English. You can talk to yourself, describe things around you, express your thoughts. For example, this coffee tastes good. The weather is really nice today. I need to finish my work later. This street is busy today. It may feel strange at first, but something amazing happens over time. Your brain starts connecting that activity with English. So every time you drink coffee, your brain automatically switches into English thinking. This reduces the need to translate, and your responses become faster. Solution number 3. Respond before you translate. This technique is extremely powerful. When someone speaks to you in English, respond immediately with a short phrase. For example, "That's interesting. Good question. Let me think about that. I understand what you mean." These small responses do something very important. They keep your brain inside English, instead of switching back to your native language. And they also give you extra time to think. While you're speaking these phrases, your brain prepares the rest of the answer. Native speakers do this all the time. They use small responses to create thinking time. And you can do the same. So remember, if your native language always jumps first, it's not your fault. Your brain learned that habit over many years. But with practice, you can train your brain to think directly in English. And once that happens, speaking becomes much easier. Now, let's move to reason number 3. And this reason is something almost every English learner experiences. Reason number 3. Your brain has not made English automatic yet. Think about your native language. When you speak it, you don't think about grammar. You don't think about sentence structure. You don't think about word order. You just speak. Words appear automatically. But in English, everything requires effort. Your brain is doing many things at the same time: choosing vocabulary, checking grammar, remembering pronunciation, listening to the other person, preparing your next response. That is a lot of work. Your brain is overloaded. And when your brain becomes overloaded, something breaks. Usually the sentence you're trying to speak. Let me show you a common situation. Imagine you're writing an email in English. You write very well. Your sentences are clear. Your grammar is good. Why? Because you have time. You can think. You can edit. You can correct mistakes. But in a real conversation, there is no time. You must respond immediately. And suddenly, the same person who writes great English struggles to speak simple sentences. This is completely normal. Speaking requires automatic language ability, and automatic ability only develops through repetition. Now, let's talk about the solutions. Solution number 1. Practice your most common sentences. Every person uses certain sentences again and again. For example, "How are you?" "I agree with that." "I think that's a good idea." "Let me explain." "I understand your point." Write down 10 sentences you use often. Then practice them 20 times every day. Yes, 20 times. It may feel repetitive, but repetition creates automatic speech. After 2 weeks, these sentences will come out instantly, without thinking. And once your brain has some automatic sentences, speaking becomes much easier, because your brain doesn't have to build every sentence from zero. Solution number 2. Treat conversations as practice, not tests. Many English learners treat every conversation like an exam. They feel pressure, fear of mistakes, fear of embarrassment, fear of judgment. But language learning is not a test. It's practice. Think about musicians. When musicians practice scales, they are not performing for an audience. They're simply training their fingers. Language practice works the same way. Choose one conversation every day where you allow yourself to practice. No pressure, no perfection. Just speaking. When you remove performance pressure, your brain relaxes, and relaxed brains speak better. Solution number 3. Slow down your speech. Many learners try to speak English quickly. They think speaking fast sounds fluent, but speaking fast actually makes things harder. Your brain needs time. When you slow down, your brain can organize thoughts more clearly. Try speaking at 70% of your normal speed. Pause between ideas. Take a breath. This small change can dramatically improve clarity and confidence. Remember, fluency is not about speed. Fluency is about clarity and comfort. So now you understand something very important. If English doesn't feel automatic yet, that doesn't mean you can't become fluent. It simply means your brain needs more repetition and practice. Automatic speech develops over time, and the more you speak, the easier it becomes. But we are not finished yet. There are still 2 more powerful reasons why understanding English is easier than speaking it. And the next one explains why even when you know the words, you still hesitate. So now I want to hear from you. What is the biggest problem you face when speaking English? Is it hesitation? Is it lack of vocabulary? Or do you feel nervous when speaking? Write your answer in the comments below. I read every single one, and it helps me create better lessons for you. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to English Learning Booster and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a new lesson. Because here, we don't just learn English, We build confidence to speak it. I'll see you in the next video.